I'm Michael Fox, and this is the Prospector News Podcast. And I have joining me returning guest, the President and CEO of Western Alaska Minerals, Kit Mars. Welcome back to the show, Kit.
Hey, Michael, it's great to be back talking to you.
Yes, when we last spoke, you guys were heading north to Alaska to the property. There was big plans for a drill program over a couple of targets. Once you got up there, though, plans kind of changed a little bit. But the drill program went reasonably well this year, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We started drilling the first week of June. I've been up in Alaska the last 2.5 months, just got back here in Tucson a couple days ago. So reacclimating. We actually was on site with Peter McGaw over the weekend. We terminated the last drill hole, I think, on Saturday. So we ended up drilling 13 holes for a total of about 4,187 meters. Our budget was 4,000. So we came in just a little bit over that. So that's great. And a little bit shorter time frame than planned. So drill production was good. And it looks like our direct drilling costs came in about 5% below our budget. So that's good. So yeah, you mentioned we had two targets planned for the summer. So prior to the drilling, we talked about having one target was the LH zone, which is a southern, hopefully continuation of the style of mineralization at Water Pump Creek. And Water Pump Creek, as you know, is our announced carbonate replacement deposit resource, 75 million ounces of contained silver equivalent that we put out in March of this year. The second target was the Warm Springs target, which is several kilometers to the west and much closer to the past producing pit. So those were the two targets that we focused on this year.
Now, originally you were going to drill equal amounts on the LH and the worm targets, but worm became a more important target for you. Why the shift and the change?
That is correct. Our plan this year is we have two of our brand new heavy duty drill rigs. We put one at Warm Springs, one at LH, and the plan was to shift the crews back and forth so we had time to analyze drill results before starting the next hole. So the first two holes were at LH, following up on some Nova Gold drilling from 2006 and 7, soil geochemistry. We decided to step off there down dip, pretty good step off in order to intersect the potential mineralization deeper where it was unoxidized. So we continued to hit some sniffs there of mineralization, but did not hit the hoped for higher grade. We ended up moving the drill back much closer to the historical drill holes to try to figure out the geology better. And then we followed up with about a half a dozen surface trenches right in the area, which is ironically just off the west side of our airstrip. So we're within, spitting distance of the airstrip. After the first couple of holes there, we drilled two, and then we alternated down to Warm Springs. The very first hole there is hole 4 and 5, first two holes that we just announced the assays of last week. So that was clearly getting the mineralization much quicker, a brand new zone. And the ultimate result is that we cut the LH program down to 4 drill holes. It's still a very good target, still very viable. We now think the structure is more vertically oriented than the sub-horizontal mineralization at Water Pump Creek. So we decided, let's step back, plot everything in 3 dimensions, and until we really understand it, put our drill footage over at Warm Springs. And that turned out to be a very good decision. The announced results we just put out yesterday were for the first 2 of 9 drill holes at Warm Springs. We got 7 more to go there, and we're still waiting for the results from LH. The slow return of assays from the past few years has probably gotten worse, not better. And it's just the turnaround is unbelievably slow.
Yeah, I was going to say the backlog at the assay labs has already started. You're not the first one to complain about having to wait for the assays to come back. The labs seem to it starts earlier and earlier every summer. It seems that the backlogs start to happen, and this year it's already into August. So, but let's talk about those two drill holes. You had some pretty good results for that new zone.
And that's really will become the focus of our project going forward. So the Warm Springs target was identified geologically by geophysics. It's just about a kilometer to the southeast from the past producing Illinois Creek gold mine, which was our going public gold silver resource. So a good target, very large, but totally blind target. So we started drilling there with this whole IC4 was the first target we've ever drilled here. So don't want to, that really needs to carry forward to your readers that the drilling we did this year was the first attempt to test this. So hole four and five were drilled on a section, hit some very nice pyritic pyrrhotite and arsenopyrite sulfides. Turned out that the pyrite arsenopyrite sulfides at the top of hole four came back with some very good gold values. I mean, these are not economic underground mining widths, but these are the first intercepts. So those were just announced, 101.3 grams over about just under 5 meters, 4.68. And at the top of that was a very nice higher grade 12 and a half plus grams over a much shorter thickness. So and that one was also just under 1% copper. So the significance here is that we now have proven that we have a gold, silver, copper mineralization that is evolved into a major target there at Warm Springs. We continued to test that. We hit mineralization in probably 7 out of 9 holes. It's all a little bit different. This is a very different geology. It's an intense silicification, hydrothermal breccias, very different than we found at Water Pump Creek. And it is definitely the first time we've ever hit gold and copper to any extent in our 3-4 years of drilling at the Illinois Creek project. So significance here is that we have a major new target. We've proven the continuity of the mineralization of the CRD system from the high temperature core at the past producing mine. We're now 1.5 kilometers to the east. We've hit it there. And 7 kilometers, 8 kilometers away, we have our major resource that I just mentioned at Water Pump Creek. So very excited about this. It's proven the size and scale of the geologic system at Illinois Creek.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Did you get any reaction from Dr. McGaw? He likes these kinds of deposits when he finds them.
Very much so. And Peter was very nice. He was able to fit us in at the end of the season. So we had a full 3-day visit that ended on Monday of this week. And that was to review all the drilling at the LH zone and Warm Springs. So he is quite excited about the Warm Springs target. He offered a quote, which was in our news release. We actually filmed about 4 videos that we're just downloading as we speak, and we'll be publishing those or putting a link on our website. And it really gives each one is 5 or 6 minutes in length, and where Peter walks through the significance of what we've drilled here. And that is very, very important. And as soon as we have those out, I'll let you know. We can maybe do a little follow-up interview there, and we'll have those public as soon as we can.
Yeah, for our listeners, follow us on the Prospector News as those videos become available. We will be posting them onto the website to share them with everybody. So with the assay labs backed up, the rest of these drills, the 9 more for this target and the 4 for the original target, those are going to drip out here now, I guess, over the next 2 months, eh?
Yeah, at least the last 2 drill holes at Warm Springs followed up on the gold intercept that we announced yesterday, and that would be hole 11 and 12. They were just, as I say, finished on Saturday. Both of those are being cut and sampled as we speak and will be shipped out. We had a major shipment samples yesterday, and the last one of the season will be next Thursday on our weekly supply flight. So those will take we will have some rush portions of those to get them a little quicker, but boy, 2 months is where we stand. Would like to point out to your readers, please take a look at our news release. Figure 1 is first time we put this out. It's a Google Earth view, satellite view of the whole district. And it really, our goal here is to put the scale and geographic proximity of the past producing mine, the Warm Springs target, the LH zone, and the Water Pump Creek resource all together, so you can see that from a satellite view. And also there's a cross section below that shows the small amount of drilling along this 8 kilometers, and so we're tagged into now we can prove a major CRD system, and can't wait to keep following up on that.
Yeah, no doubt. Once the rest of the assay results come in, I'd like to have you back on so we can get a bigger picture of what was discovered this summer, and how that's going to influence what you guys are going to do for the drilling season next year when it comes around. But in the meantime, there's going to be lots of stuff for you to figure out based on this exciting new discovery.
Yeah, there will be a lot from the drill results, and then also it's been announced through the state of Alaska, but they just completed a 30-day airborne electromagnetic helicopter survey. They were based out of our camp for most of that time, but it's a regional survey sponsored by the state of Alaska and the USGS. And we participated in that. So we've got some early data over our project. Very, very good results. It's something that will really put together the geology, the stratigraphy, and the structure. So we're very excited about that. It's not necessarily a drill targeting type of survey, but very detailed, and 98% of our project is under organic cover. So this kind of geophysics will be very helpful, probably come out public in an announcement from the state of Alaska and the USGS in November.
Yeah, that'll also be exciting because having overflowing your property, that may help influence where to drill next year as well. If people want to continue to follow this story, how they best do so, Kit?
Best way is to contact Vanessa Bogart, our Investor Relations and Corporate Communication Director. Her email is at the bottom of the news release, but it's very simple. It's Vanessa at westernalaskaminerals.com. So please contact Vanessa if you want to get on our mailing list. Please do so, and we will be sending you as much information to put on your website, Michael, as soon as we get it.
That'd be wonderful. And for those that are listening that are going to be at the Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek on September the 10th to the 13th, Kit and the management team from Western Alaska will be there, and I would highly recommend you carve out some time to sit down with the team and see what they're doing up north if you're in Beaver Creek. So thanks again, Kit, and I look forward to having you back on as soon as the rest of those results come in.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me on your show, Michael.
Thank you. The Prospector News podcast is for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and are not to be taken as investment advice. Listeners need to do their own due diligence and seek advice of a licensed investment advisor.